Okay. It says we're live, just the two of us for right now. Since we decided to do this at the last minute, we may or may not even get anybody here with us.
Well, we might not.
But that's okay. We just thought we'd come on and kind of let folks know we are still around. Well, hey, Greg, phone takes here.
Hey, Greg, how are you doing this Sunday morning? They've been trying to catch up on some of your videos there. I've really been enjoying them.
Yeah, we're way behind on keeping up with everybody.
Yeah, way too far behind. Matter of fact, so far behind, I think I'm ahead.
uh,
But we thought we'd just get on here. What few videos I've put back up on, and people's asked about how uh, Kathy's doing. So I told her she's gonna have to get on here and let everybody know how she's doing. Places just keep asking me; they can see for themselves.
well, I am doing better. At least I feel like sitting up and messing with doing all this. Okay, got a couple of other guys in. Bob Kraus is here, and JMZ 56 is here. Good, good to see you guys.
Yeah, wasn't too sure we'd get anybody on here for as long as we've been off the air.
I don't think we'd get mad at you at all. Sometimes they don't get too mad at me.
Well, as long as you're not getting too mad at me for mixing up your name, I'm all right.
No, because earlier he had said funnel cakes in the house.
Yeah. Oh, hillbilly slang and everything just ain't what it should be, I guess.
No, you just have trouble saying some words and names. Always have had.
Yeah, just like this cigar I'm smoking. I can't even get it right. It's called what you call it? 'Cause you can say it better than me.
Okay, it's a Gurkha prize fighter.
Yeah. I keep wanting to say Durka. It's it's a pretty Sunday morning around here in Oklahoma.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Of course, it'll probably get hot here later on, but we had a little rain yesterday, and that kind of cooled things down a little bit.
Yeah, I think temperature's going to stay pretty good for a day or two, or at least the last thing that I saw said something like that.
But yeah, I've kind of been listening to Flat Cap Piper. I guess I got that one right. uh, kind of catching up on his and quite a few of the others, and listening to a lot of the new presenters and everything we've been getting in.
Yeah, playing catch up.
Yeah, playing catch up and everything. But we're gonna have that pipe week coming up around Father's Day, run all week, so that's gonna really be uh, nice to watch. That's if I don't get too busy where I can't watch it.
Well, hey, Steph. Good to see you.
Well, hey, Steph. How are you and Skip doing?
Oh, hey, Chip. Hope everything's doing good out there in Alaska. You doing? Oh, and Chip says he likes your shirt.
Oh, Yeah, I had to buy a pipe to get the shirt, or either I had to buy the shirt to get the pipe. I don't know which, but either way, it costs quite a bit. That's just like when I go buy a new car, they'll give me a hat, and I'll have people comment on my hat, and I said, "Man, you can't afford a hat like this. This is a $37,000 hat." I said, "I had to buy the hat, but they throw the car in for free."
Well, that's okay, Steph. It's just good to see you. She
Yeah,
says she can't stay too long because she'll be headed to church in a little bit.
well, that's fine.
But Skip will be home come Thursday, so
Well, that's
hey,
good.
that's good. That's good.
Yeah. Ain't no better place to be is be in church.
And I know how that can be, Steph. Steve used to work on the road back when we first got together, and the week or two or like that he was gone always seemed like forever. And Piper Ken just signed in. How
Right.
you doing, Ken?
Hey, Ken. Hope everybody's having a wonderful Sunday. We're having a pretty good morning so far. Been watching a few of the videos this morning, trying to catch a few catch ups. Been busy out in the shop, just working around here, and trying to get things fixed around here. Every time I turn around, there's something tearing up, something somewhere. So plus that son of mine, he was just over a few minutes ago. He won't know if I could cut a pipe off for him. He's got some kind of project going on over at his place.
Yeah, and he didn't have the right kind of saw to get it cut with.
Well, no.
And I think he's a little weary of saws these days.
Well,
Can't blame him. I would be too.
saw's a real good thing to have around as long as you ain't cutting your fingers off.
Yep.
He's got a habit of wanting to cut on some fingers. I've been around saws all my life, and I learned if you follow the rules, you won't lose no fingers.
Well, you can follow the rules, but you can get careless too. I know I spent a lot of time doctoring on my daddy because he was good. He was good with saws, but sometimes he'd get in a hurry and his finger or whatever would meet with that saw and take a pretty bad cut.
You know what? This is not a bad smoking stick. Uh, that they said it had a little bit of uh, oh, chocolate and
I know it has a little bit of spice to it.
yeah, a little spice.
Uh,
So not a bad smoke. I just ordered these in. I think got them in yesterday, and so I thought give one a try.
okay, we got a couple more folks in. Uh, Texas Piper showed up. Hey, Eddie.
Well, say Eddie,
And Albright Up is here. Morning, John.
morning to both y'all. I've seen John here lately, but Texas, I hadn't seen you in a while. How you been doing? Of course, I hadn't seen a lot of people in a good while. I've had my head stuck underneath lawnmowers, and grease up to my elbows.
Even a couple of major plumbing problems since you was
Yeah,
did any other lives and like that.
I'm kind of a jack of all trades and not a master at neither one of them. I was always brought up either you fixed it yourself or it just didn't get fixed. Before we couldn't afford to go out and hire somebody to do anything for us. We had to learn to do it ourselves
Yeah. Oh, we still do that most of the time.
most of
Every
the
once in a
time.
while, you run across a problem that's past your bailiwick. Hey, Mike, recovering know it all just signed in.
Well, hey, Mike, how are you doing today, sir?
Mm-hmm. Eddie says, yeah, he's been kind of out of pocket his own self for quite a while,
I tell
but he's
you,
doing all right.
it's easy done. We get so busy in life and everything. I just don't have the time like I'd like to have. They say when you retire, you got plenty of time, but that's a lot of bull to that.
There's always something going on.
I work harder now than I did when I was actually working.
Now, you stay busy with a whole lot of different things than you did when you was working.
Yeah, I hadn't even had much time to even do any pipe restorations or anything. I got quite a few pipes been laying there on my pipe bench for several months. I hadn't even gotten around to.
Yeah. Yeah, hey, we missed that, Mike, but we was up and around a little later and decided to do this and decide it just was one of those things we couldn't be in both places at once. uh,
Well, it's kind of a spur of the moment deal. So
yeah, we didn't decide till maybe an hour ago that we were even going to try to do a live.
yeah, I kind of looked over at her and told her, I said, people's been asking about how you doing. We could get on. They could see how you're doing. You could tell them yourself.
Yeah.
Plus, we ain't got nobody kind of bothering us right now, so it'd be a good time to do one.
Yep, that works out pretty good. Yeah, I am doing better. Still having some pain in my back, but at least I feel good enough to be sitting up and doing it. And there for a little while, I wouldn't have been there. But they've got things pretty much under control. My doctor is referring me to a specialist that can do some injections in my upper back, and hopefully we can take down some of the swelling that causes problems. Uh, I mean, I did have good news in that my disc problem isn't bad enough to actually need surgery for. It just gets irritated and swells, and that's where the pain comes from. And so we're hoping some steroid injections can help keep the swelling stuff down to where it won't get bad enough to need a surgery later. I know what you mean, Mike. I have had back pain off and on for years, but usually it's lower in my back. You know, an old injury from a, a car wreck, but this is just wear and tear of old age, and it's in the upper back. And so when it gets to hurting and radiating out around, it makes it hard to breathe because it constricts your whole chest.
Yeah, and since I had her in and out of the doctor so much, I decided, well, since I'm here anyway, I might as well just go ahead and let her give me a physical and make sure I'm doing okay. And so I got my physical done, and she called me and she told me, she said, well, she says, I got some good news and I got some bad news. Which one you want to hear first? I said, well, let me hear the good news first. She says, well, the good news is you're in real good health. You're going to live for a long time. I said, well, that's good. Then what's the bad news? She said, bad news is everybody's going to have to put up with you for a long time.
That's one of the things. Our doctor is one of my old friends that I started out working with when she was just a regular floor nurse. And she's gone on and on with her education and now is our regular family doctor. But she knows us too well.
Yeah, I pick on her all the time. I told her, I said, you better make sure you don't let nothing happen to me, because if I die and it's your fault, I'm going to come back and haunt you.
Well, John, tell my boo we say hi to her too.
Yeah.
I hardly ever see her. I noticed she peeked in a little bit on your Tuesday Zoom call a week or so ago, but I wasn't up to sitting up and listening in too much. But
Well, usually when we have Zoom, you head to the back.
well, it all depends on how I feel. Sometimes I'll sit down on it, or I used to, but here lately I haven't been. Piper Ken says Henri doesn't age, Steve.
I guess not.
Well, we'll see. I may be able to sit up and sit in on one of them before too long, John, because I used to enjoy sitting in and listening in on the meetups. I noticed you've been doing some others at all different times of the day occasionally.
Yeah, I've been trying to catch them, but I'm usually pretty busy around them times of the day, and it's hard
Yeah,
for me to
sometimes
catch
we don't
anybody
see them till they're done.
till they're done. Well, there goes another one I missed. But trying to get my videos built back up. There for a while, I was way down on videos. I don't know if it was me or YouTube or this cotton picking computer, because we've had some problems with it. But all of a sudden, all of our videos we had up was down and gone, and so we don't know what was going on with that. So we're trying to slowly build back up.
Mm-hmm. When we have time to get set up and put one on.
Yeah, hopefully these are take and stay. I had a whole bunch of them that just got wiped away for some reason. It might have been me. I might have hit something wrong. I don't know. 'Cause I don't get along with these computers. They want to do one thing and I want to do another, and we don't come to agreement on anything.
That's true. That's true. I'm usually used to how my little computer works because you know, but there's some things on there I can't figure out, especially as they do updates and like that.
Yeah, they do them updates and everything. Then it messes everybody up, I think.
Yeah. Oh, that's just like when our phones updated. Used to, if you uh, recorded a video on your phone, then you hit to share, and it would give you the choice to share to YouTube. It doesn't do that anymore.
No.
So we have to go download it to the computer and then let the computer put it up on YouTube. Just another 2 or 3 steps to do to get anything done.
I always say, as long as it works, why fix it? If it ain't broke.
Yeah, I always say that at work because they come up with new things and like that for us to do, charting on our computers and all that mess. And I said, well, if it ain't broke, why fix it? Or why try to fix it with something new? Because it was working perfectly fine.
Well, so they can mess everything up. I guess try to keep you on your toes or keep you alert or something. I don't know what their reason is about wanting to keep moving things around, but it sure messes me up. I'm a creature of habit. I get stuck on one thing. That's the way I kind of go.
Yeah, that's how you want it to work always. And I can understand that. And one thing, since I don't work very much anymore, it's harder for me to keep up with all the different things they do. Uh, I had to do some of those online classes here recently, and I pulled them up, ran through the class, took the test, failed the test, went through the information again, took the test again, and it seemed like it took me 3 or 4 times to catch on to what they were trying to show me. And the bad part about where I work, I would never use those particular parts of the computer, but I still had to know it in order to pass the test that all licensed nurses are supposed to take.
Well, you've been a nurse now for what? 40,
Probably close to 40 years.
40 years now?
Mm-hmm. Uh, Mike's asking how long we've been married. We've been married for 50,
53, 54?
53 years.
Yeah, 53 years. Long, long time. Been married all my life, seems like. People ask me how we stayed married so long. I tell them the secret about that. Just agree with everything they tell you. Save a bunch of argument.
Nah, that don't always work, but you have to
No,
be willing to hear both
compromise.
sides and compromise. Mm. I can understand how that is, John. He said he rested most of yesterday and did a little bit of pipe work late in the evening, but just didn't have any energy.
Yeah, I can understand that. There's a lot of days that my giddy up and go, I think, gets up and just leaves.
Oh, Eddie. Eddie said he got in trouble with his wife because his almost 10 years of nursing. Uh, uh, Surprised that he actually went out on a date with him after he cluelessly said something about aren't nurses just want to be doctors. She got firmly corrected. I can understand that because technically nurses spend a whole lot more time with patients than doctors do. And Piper Ken says they're coming up on their 24th next anniversary next Monday. So
Well,
that's a good deal there.
yeah. Congratulations.
There's so many people that don't even try to keep going.
No, about 5 years, and it's most they stayed together anymore. I mean, I already know that for a fact. My son done been married. I don't know. He's been married so many times I've lost count of them.
At least he didn't marry all of them. There was some that he stayed together with for a year or two, but never broke down and got married. Hey, Piper said, good to see you.
Hey, Piper. Glad you was able to join us. Tell you what, it sure has been a joy to get on here to talk to everybody. It's been too long, really. I don't know how well we can make this of a habit. The way things are kind of going for us, we're just staying so cotton picking busy between the lawnmower shop and the honeydew jobs around here and running her back and forth to the doctors and stuff. Is sometimes I kind of meet myself coming and going.
Yeah, it's had everybody going in circles the last 2 or 3 months. Ken says they say the key to a long marriage is staying outside.
That's true. I agree with that 100%. If she gets mad at me, she'll say, I'll ask her, "What are you gonna fix for supper?" And she'll go in there and start fixing it, and then she'll come out hollering at me. She said, "Well, I turned around, you was gone." She says, "Thought you was hungry," and I said, "Well, I am." She said, "Well, you need to come back in the house if you want to eat, then."
Yeah, he's got a bad habit about that. He'll say something about ready for supper or whatever. I'll have it ready and sitting on the table, and he's nowhere to be found. So I figure he can eat it cold. Oh, hey, James. Good to see you.
Oh, James. Which James is this?
It's Stumbo.
Oh, well, Mr. Stumbo. How's your day been going there, sir?
Hope the family's doing good.
I see where Kim's been staying pretty busy. You said that she got to teach some kind of class through the summer or something.
And I appreciate that, James. He said he'd rather have me as a nurse than any of those others pass the test.
I don't know about that. I can get some sympathy out of those others. I can't get none out of this one here.
Because I know the backstory behind it, usually.
You just tell me to shut up and take it. Did you get your humidor lined out there, James? Noticed the last time I was on there, you was having a little problem keeping it micromated. Is that the word you use?
Mm.
Balanced out or whatever?
Yeah, I can't think.
I ain't used to them $5 words.
Eddie says he knows exactly what you mean. He says sometimes he prefers the wife when he's homesick, but he gets the charge nurse all tough and rough instead. I think the biggest problem Steve has with me being a nurse, he expects me to know and be able to do more than I legally can. He expects me to be able to diagnose, tell him exactly what he needs and all that stuff. And some stuff like that I just can't do.
Well, I'm going to tell you why I'm that way. And me and her both worked in the medical field together. Me and her both worked in the same hospitals together. And we both worked in the ER together. We'd have a patient come in, and the doctor'd come back here, and me and Kathy'd be in the room, and he'd ask Kathy what she think. Kathy would describe what she thought and everything. And he said, "Well, I agree with you. We'll do that." So if a doctor's going to agree with us, she ought to know what she's talking about. So I figured she ought to be able to diagnose me too.
But that's just like when you split your head open. You didn't want to listen to me about going and getting any stitches or anything. You wanted me to just patch it up. And it was a little more than what I could do. I didn't have the stuff to do it with.
That little blood ain't never hurt nobody. If I had a stitch put in every time I cut myself, I'd be full of stitches.
Well, you don't have to do that all the time. There's only been one time I've told you you needed to go get some stitches. Well, I'll take that back. There was twice. Once when the little dog got you, and then when you took that fall.
Yeah.
Most of the time I can patch you up.
Shoot, anymore now, I just bump myself and I'm all banged up and cut up. I think as you get older, your skin gets thinner. I don't know.
Yeah, it does. That's a fact. And I'm pretty good at putting back together skin tears and stuff like that. But if it's big enough to need sutures, I don't have the wherewithal to do that.
Yeah, one day I was out there, I was working on a lawnmower, trying to get a blade off, and the wrench slipped, and I caught the edge of that lawnmower, and I peeled the skin from my wrist plumb up to my elbow, and
I put it all back in place.
she had to come in the house bleeding like a stuck pig, and she got it all bandaged up and wrapped up and everything. And so I gotta admit, she is a pretty good nurse.
Yeah, John, you got that right. You can only do what the bosses say and what you're covered for with your license, or they're going to yank that license away, but the boss is still covered. Well, hey, Yornik. This Kate or this Yornik?
I say, Yarnick, hope you're having a good day like the rest of us. It's a nice, peaceful, quiet Sunday morning for us. Nobody's been hassling us or bothering us. Phone ain't been ringing off the wall. Can I fix a lawnmower? They need it by tomorrow. I don't know what it is, but especially in springtime when it comes time to mow in the yard, they all get covered in lawnmowers. And people will be, I need it by tomorrow. Can you have it fixed? And I said, well, when did it tear up? Well, it was tore up when I put it up. Like, well, why didn't you bring it to me when it tore up then? I wasn't so busy. You let it sit all winter long. Now it's time to mow, and here you want it fixed by the next day.
Yeah, and that just don't work.
You don't have about maybe 100 more people ahead of you that had the same idea that you had. Well, I ain't gonna need it all winter. I'll just wait until I need it again, and then I'll take and put it in the shop and fix it.
Yeah. You got that right, John. He said, blood ain't the problem. Lack of blood is. Ain't nothing wrong with that, Yornik. It is Yornik that's on. Kate's around, but she's busy reading.
Oh, okay.
Well, I hope it all works out for you, Eddie. He said they just put in a contract for buying their first house. So
Oh,
he thinks he'll probably be real busy with stuff like that before too long.
yeah. Yeah, I tell you what, when you buy your first house, you'll find there's a lot of things in there you got to change. Well, you don't find a lot of things you want to change, but your wife will find plenty of things that she wants to change. I'll guarantee you on that one.
Well, there's always some little something. Nothing's perfect.
You know, I'd really like his house a whole lot better, honey, if we could redo the bathroom or refinish the kitchen or buy certain things for the living room. That's one honeydew list that never gets filled up. Believe me, I've learned that from years of experience.
We have done some fixing up in several places we've been in,
Yeah,
but we've only bought two places in all of our marriage. We bought the place over in Arkansas, and then we bought this place.
yeah.
Rented in between. Yeah, Yornik, that's true. Home improvement it is never really finished. It only gets stopped every once in a while.
Yeah, that's the truth.
But I've got to admit, a lot of the things that have gone on around here with our home improvement like that have been your ideas.
Well, yeah, I'm trying to fix it to where I don't have to work so hard. I learned a long time ago from a good friend of mine. Because I asked him one day, Frog, I said, how do you keep from working so hard and everything? He said, I sit and watch a lazy man the way he does things. He said, then I try to copy him.
But he never seemed like he was lazy because he always had something going
I
on.
always had something going on. He
But
just didn't work very hard at it. He just took his time.
Yeah, he took his time.
We traveled up and down the road together for several years there, and we get ready. We go to powwow and set our craft booths up. We usually kind of sit fairly close to one another. Get time to close the show down or put things or get ready for a show. I'd go over and ask him. I said, "You need some help there, Froggy?" And he said, "Nah." He said, I'm doing just fine." He said, "When I get done, it'll be done." He said, "I just take my time in doing it."
Mm-hmm. And he would. Sometimes he'd stick around an extra day just so he didn't have to rush packing things up.
Yeah.
He wasn't like us. He didn't have to get back to a full time job.
No. Usually we went out on a weekend. We'd get set up on Friday and tear down on a Sunday night. And then I'd have to be back at work uh, by Monday, or either that or be back at work that Sunday night by 11 o'clock, depending on what shift I was working that week. So I was constantly on a dead run.
That's true, Yornik. There's always enough time if you just plan for it.
Oh, by the way, James, you're still in here. I run across some pretty good, reasonable cigars here. Might want to take a look at them. They're called uh,
It's the Gurkha Prize Fighter.
yeah, Sir
Gurkha Prize Fighter.
Gurkha Prize Fighter. I'll get it spit out here in a minute, maybe. Nah, my tongue don't turn that way. But it's a good smoke, James. Look them up.
Yeah, a lot of what they have in the Gurkha line is way out of our price range. But these aren't too bad.
Well, the price is pretty reasonable, I think.
And Steve has really been enjoying them. Well, hey, Patrick.
Just got these things in yesterday, and I've done smoked about 3 of them. I'll tell you, it's got a good flavor to it, and they're kind of a light smoke. They're not a real strong smoke. Just a real soft metal taste to them.
Mm-hmm. James said until his humidor gets fixed, his cigar buying is pretty much stopped.
Mm.
Well, I can't blame you there because you don't want to have a whole bunch of them, and I can't say they go bad, but if you don't keep them right, they don't hold up as good.
I was kind of having that same problem you're having about my humidity jumping around on me, but I got to looking. My house monitor I got in the house just for the whole living room and everything. I keep my furnace or my air conditioner set on 71, I believe it is. And it was showing my humidity at 60. Oh, I want to say about 66, 67. And that was the room temperature of the house.
The room humidity.
Yeah, with the room humidity and all. So I set my humidor according to that, and it took my humidity down to about the same as it was in the house. Of course, I figured that ain't making much sense because hell, I ain't making sense to my own self.
Yeah.
That don't sound right to me.
Well, we had several days here that the humidity was really rough. It was like trying to breathe through a wet towel. The humidity was so high. Couldn't stand to come outside. Couldn't hardly stand to stay inside because even inside the humidity was horrible. And that was kicking the humidity and everything else way up. So we had to do a little juggling around for a while to get the humidity everywhere doing better.
That was just one of the techniques I had tried with mine, and it worked. So I thought, well, I can't lose nothing. It's either going to work or it's not going to work. So
Oh, hey, Mad Piper.
Hey, Piper.
Good to have you here.
Yeah, glad you was able to join us. We've been having a good time, having good conversation.
Okay, Mike Recovering Know It All said he's not a big cigar smoker, but he has tried some Toscano cigars. I hadn't tried those. May have to look them up.
I'm not really big into cigars. I like an early morning cigar and a late afternoon cigar, and the rest of the time I just puff on a pipe. This is the cigar smoker right here. She got she got a dozen pipes in there and don't smoke a one of them.
I don't know. I just got to where I like the cigars better for some reason.
She's lazy. She don't have to work at a cigar like she does a pipe. I'll be honest with you. She's on the lazy side.
Hmm. Oh, that sounds pretty good, Patrick. He said Toscanos are made with a dark fired Kentucky, and they are real good. So,
Hmm. Sounds good. Hey, I'm not too much of an expert on any kind of tobacco. If I like it, I smoke it. If I don't like it, I'll either give it away or don't buy it. One of the two.
mm-hmm.
It's like I got some velvet. I've done tried smoking that stuff 3 or 4 times, and I'm just not. It's not agreeing with me at all. So I
Yeah.
guess I'm gonna have to start packaging it up and divvying it out to somebody that does like it. So if you know anybody that likes red velvet, give me a holler at, and I'll be glad to share some of it with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, weather's pretty nice here for a change, Mad Piper. Where are you? I don't believe I've heard where you're located. Well, hey, Badger. Good to see you here, Phil.
Well, hey, brother. Hey,
Oh, okay. Mad Piper's over in England, and his name is Tom.
oh, hey, Tom. Nice meeting you there. I got a brother over that way. Matter of fact, he just jumped in here. We've been trying to communicate with one another and doing a little swapping back and forth. That is, if we can find a way around customs over there. I tell you what, that custom, uh, they're really a pain in the rear.
Yeah, we sent Badger package, what, at least 2 months ago, and it's been sitting in the customs office almost that whole time because we traced it down and it got over there within less than a week. But they've had it held up ever since. Well, hey, Troy. Lurker Troy signed in.
All right, Troy. Yeah, I can see why a lot of us guys over here and a lot of y'all over there don't like sending stuff back and forth because you don't know whether you're going to get it or not. I tell you what, it costs quite a bit of money to send over for customs to keep.
Yeah,
I don't mind spending the money, but I want it to go where I want it to go.
yeah, that's true. That's true. And then they turn around and charge the recipient a big amount of money. I know, I think it was James saying something about he had sent something
Boris, wasn't it?
to Boris, and it had cost a pretty penny for him to mail it out from here. And then they were going to charge Boris
More than
like,
what? More than what it cost him to buy the thing.
yeah, to be able to pick it up at customs.
Yeah, you buy a little old cheap corncob pipe and send it to somebody and spend $8 for the cob pipe. By the time you all said and done and shipping and all that, you done spent $60 or $70 on a $8 pipe.
That's all I can figure it out. My, you know, international duties for some sort of some sort.
Well, we heard too that customs over there have changed their rules and regulations on a few things, and we don't know what those rules and regulations are.
Yeah, I mean, we sent them through according to the old regulations, but no telling what they're doing with them now.
We're trying to abide by their rules and everything, but they keep changing the rules on us. It's hard to abide by them when they keep moving them around.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, James, if you'd like to try one of these cigars, I can see I've got two more packages ordered. When they come in, I'll see if I can uh, send a couple of them over there and let you give them a try.
Yeah. And Badge says the trouble is that nobody knows about what the rules are anymore.
Yeah.
And Patrick says, yeah, we've got a postmaster general who has just totally ruined the system.
I like taking care of my brother over there. I know he has a hard time, just like the rest of us do, and everything. And you're trying to take care of somebody and trying to uh, make them happy and everything. Then you got somebody sitting over to the side wanting to throw wrenches into everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I often worry about him and his better half. I know he's not in good health like a lot of the rest of us. So I'm me and Miss Kathy, we're constantly worried about him and his better half.
No, we worry about a lot of our guys on here.
Well,
But
you
we
know,
know for a fact that Phil and Judith have a rough time between health issues and like that.
well, we stayed more in touch with Phil than we do a lot of other folks.
That's true. Well, I can agree with that sentiment on it. Is that if the law is stupid, nobody's going to follow it anyway.
Well, no,
That's true. That's true. Mm.
yeah, James, if you want to try a couple of these cigars, just let me know, and I'll send a couple of them your way when I get this other order in, which we just ordered it this morning, didn't we?
Yeah,
We ordered
it'll
what?
probably be about a week or so before it comes in.
Yeah, we ordered what? 2 bundles of it.
Yeah.
That way, if you like them, you You want to, you like them well enough, and you get your humidor straightened out, you order you a bundle or two. I think they're averaging that what about a
They're about $40 something for a bundle of 20, so they're just a little over $2 a stick, just barely.
but they burn evenly. I hadn't had an issue with one of them not burning good. No canoeing or anything so far. The ashes on it seems to be pretty tight. They're not all loose and flaky, and it has a real nice light flavor to it. I think it's supposed to have a hint of nut,
I don't remember now. I think it
little nutty flavor,
maybe
not
oak and
leather.
leather with a finishing touch of spice or something like that.
Yeah. Overall, it's a fairly decent smoke.
Mm-hmm. And Pilgrim says, "I love you both anyway, and that's all I want." And James said he has no problem on receiving gifts.
Mm. But I love my brother over there at the UK, and wouldn't take $1,000,000 for him. And maybe 2 million, but not 1,000,000.
Oh
No, just
no, it's getting deep, and I don't have my hip boots on.
no. We always enjoy talking to Badge.
Mm-hmm. Got a lot of good folks on here.
We enjoy talking to everybody. We never have a bad day of talking to anybody. And we might have a few conversations where we don't agree on everything, but that's not saying that you don't like them or anything. It just means you just don't agree with some of the things that they believe in, and they don't believe in some of the things that you believe in. So there's not nothing wrong with disagreement.
No, not at all.
Everybody's going to have a disagreement on something.
Mm-hmm.
The
You
friendship,
just
the
you just
friendship,
can't take it personal.
yeah, friendship's what counts. You're not a true friend if you can't take the disagreements that comes along with sometimes. Learn, live, and forget. That's my motto.
Patrick agrees with me. Definitely needing the hip boots now. Uh, that's true. That's true, Mike. Bill says if he had $1,000,000, he'd be over here on the porch with us. Uh,
Well, if I had $1,000,000, I'd be over there on the porch with you. I won't see that new shed you got. We'll get that sucker fixed up. Get you out of that cold weather so you can have a good warm place to smoke it.
yeah, can't everybody has to agree to disagree sometime or other. That's like the folks we bought this place from. We'd been friends with them at church, and they were a lot more into church than we were as far as that particular church. And but we had slightly different ideas on how we believed, and he'd put forth what he believed. Mayor Steve would put forth how we saw that issue, Sometimes it was the same, sometimes it wasn't. But we all just agreed that, okay, you believe that way, I believe this way, we can still be friends and still keep going. And we went like that for quite a few years. Their health got to where they couldn't keep up with keeping this place up, and they offered it to us at a steal of a deal so that they could move out west where their kids were. And we kept in touch, for years after that. Even after we'd bought the place from them, they'd moved away until finally they crossed over.
There have been so many times I've seen guys on here and girls disagree with what somebody said and just get plumb mad at them and cut them off. That's not a good thing. That's not what you call a friendship. I mean, there's a lot of things in life I don't agree with. Does that mean I'm gonna have to just quit living because of it? No, it don't. That's the way I look at my friendship and stuff. I know I've had some disagreements, and some people's had some disagreements with the way I've said and done things on my YouTube channel. But I don't hold that against anybody. No need to. No need to stay mad. Life's too short to be mad at somebody all the time.
Yep, that's true. And I agree with you. He says his best friend is a Christian. He's not. But yet they still been good friends for years.
Yeah, it works. You just got to find a way around it.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's good, Badge. He said he's been out back this morning and had a bowl of Father Dempsey.
Oh,
So it's good that he's able to get out.
I'm glad he's able to get outside. I know here lately he's been pretty well under the weather and hadn't been able to get out much or anything. He's been going back and forth to that doctor quite a bit. Sounds like he's been getting some good health reports. So maybe things are starting to look up for him. I'm glad of that. Babe, how long we done been on?
I think we've been on just a hair over an hour.
Just a hair over an hour? Well, I don't know if anybody's got anything else coming on today or not. I know weekends has been kind of pretty slim picking when it comes to looking for lives or anything.
Yeah. Since we quit doing ours regularly, when we hadn't been able to keep up with everybody else.
And I think Step and Skip's got where they're like us. They just pop on when they can. And I can understand that because, boy, I tell you what, life can get away with a lot of things.
Yeah. Well, I think we got several people that's going to be needing to get off of here anyhow. Mike says they're going to be leaving for fellowship in a bit. And Troy says he's got some outside stuff to do. And that's like us. We're going to have to get around and get busy with some things.
Yeah, that boy, man, he come around the corner a while ago hollering at me, and he seen we was doing our live, so he kind of pointed to come see him when we get done, so I don't know whether I want to go over or not because he probably got some work for me to do.
You never know.
Usually he don't come over here unless he's wanting me to do something. That's why when I see him round corners and stuff, I kind of cringe. I got enough people hollering at me already.
We're fine. We're fine.
The text never did say whether he was buying their house yet, did he?
No, but I'm sure it's there close to
Yeah,
them there.
somewhere's there in Texas. There ain't nothing wrong with Texas if you like scrub brushes.
Well, it all depends on where he is in Texas. Some parts of Texas are nice. It's just that one time we lived in Texas, we were in the armpit of the state.
Yeah, I think everything that the Creator had left over, he dumped where we was at.
Uh, Phil, I'm doing a good bit better. At least I feel like sitting up and doing this stuff for a while. Okay, John's gonna have to, or James, he's gonna have to get going uh, for some things. I will, Phil. I will. Yep.
Well, folks,
Okay, James. I think Eddie had said earlier that they put a bid in on a house, and so if it went through, he knew he's going to be busy with doing a lot of house stuff and like that. Uh, once they got it, and so they're waiting to see if their offer is accepted, and so that's about as far as we know.
yeah, I know how it is about moving. When you got to pack stuff up and move it, it takes you years and years to get settled into a place. I mean, we've been here over what, 8 years now, 9 years,
Yeah, something like that.
and we're still finding stuff packed up, stuff we thought we lost.
Well, that's like that one pipe of yours. Uh, you've had for 30 something years, but thought it had got lost in a lot of our moving, and we found it again after we were here.
After 30 some odd years, it was like a whole new uh, uh, friendship opening back up again. She ain't gonna get lost no more though. I got her put up to where I can enjoy a good smoke out of it.
Mm.
And it's a Seminelli. It's a bent pipe. I forgot what the number was on that, but she's always been a good smoke.
Yeah, 'cause you bought her what, 30, 40 years ago?
About 40 years ago, I think I gave brand spanking new, just to show you how much the price difference has made through the years. I think I gave $15 for it.
Yeah.
I believe that was the price. Don't quote me on that. I could be wrong, but it wasn't very high, not like today's prices.
No, okay, James. That's understandable then. Yeah, that can be a mess. Patrick said Southern Piper is getting married to his girlfriend, and so he's going to be packing up his house to move in with her.
Well, I don't know whether I should congratulate you on getting married or send you some flowers for the funeral. Of course, I'm just joking on that, but
I don't know. You kind of have a running joke if you don't know whether it's congratulations or condolences.
yeah,
But yeah, moving's never fun. I grew up in a family of people with
gypsy blood.
yeah, I call them having gypsy feet, and we moved so much. I know at least 1 year in school I was in 3 different schools, and it gets old. It gets old. So we've done pretty good about when once we would like somewhere, we'd try to stay put.
For a while anyway.
Yeah,
Of course, me and her both are from Arkansas. Me and old Pipe Ninja there, we kind of grew up in the same area. I think our hometowns was just about 15 miles from each other. So me and him, we've always hunted the same type of woods and fished the same lakes and rivers as each other. Even though
just
I'm
about 20 years apart.
just about 20 years apart, and uh, when we go back home to visit family, which we still have family in Arkansas, we always try to stop by and give Pipe Ninja a holler at him and Arkansas Mike, which Arkansas Mike don't get on here a whole lot anymore.
Well, he's busy with his new
Yeah, he's busy.
girlfriend.
He's got him a new lady, so he's been pretty busy with her. Well, babe, we took up enough of these folks' time, and I don't want to
Yeah,
wear you out too much to where you're down again. So,
yeah, I'm gonna have to go in and rest for a while, I think. But it's been nice sitting out here visiting with everybody.
yeah, couldn't have said it any better. And I want to tell that brother of mine over in the UK, hope he continues to feeling good and getting better. And tell that better half that give her a lot of hugs and kisses for me and Kathy. So we need to jump off of here and just let you go and get some rest, and I go over and see what kind of job that boy of mine's wanting me to get done for him.
Yeah, he may be having a little trouble getting that fan hooked up,
Might be.
or at least need an extra pair of hands to hold things.
Hold things or something.
Never know. Or he may be wanting to show off his handiwork. You never know.
Well, that's true. He's kind of proud of some of his work he does, which I don't blame him. I mean, he's still a young pup. He's learning things, so that's a good thing as long as you can learn.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to jump off of here and wish everybody a real happy Sunday and to everybody and kind of keep in touch with everybody if we can. A little bit better than what we have been. It's starting to slow down a little bit around here, so maybe we can get on here more often than what we have been. And I'd appreciate it, and I know Miss Kathy appreciate it for the thumbs up and everything. If you haven't subscribed to us, please do. We're trying to get our channel built back up, and we're trying to get described back to a lot of the old people. I don't know, like I said, what happened there, but we're trying to get it lined back up. So
Yeah, they didn't take our channel completely off, but it was like it was almost wiped clean.
almost wiped clean. So we're trying to get reinscribed. So if you see me come across there reinscribing to you,
That's what it is.
that's what it is. We're just trying to get our channels built back up. So
Okay, I will, Phil. And tell Judith, give Judith our love too.
so y'all take care and God bless each and every one of you. Wado. And like my grandpappy always said, may all the angels in heaven smile down upon you, and the good Lord wrap his loving arms around each and every one of you. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. So God bless each and every one of you. Wado.
It's been good visiting with all of you. God bless. Yokoke. Okay.
Okay, so what was everybody?